and I'm already seated, waiting in anticipation for today's episode. Pascal from Gupado Films in Wecha. Happy Valentine's, and I'm wishing you lots of love this season. I'm all ready for you. And this is Stephen Jampo in Ting Kong. Ni Amabuche from Mampong. Equiapim is here. Levi Kosa, the catalyst, says they're on the roll call list. Good evening, Nana. I'm ready for you. Kletus Seku in Kanda. And I'm sure the usual suspects, Eugenia Sintimedi, should be there. Ajiman Joseph in Community 9 should be all seated and on standby. Bros Barbecue, let me mark you before I see you. And then let me forget Udute Ni Udute as well. Oh, it's going to be a very, very exciting show today. But let me first say massive happy birthday to Nana Ansah Kwao II, the Queen Mother, the Paramount Queen Mother of Akwemu. And basically anybody who's from the Aduana clan, if you're from the Aduana clan, well, you don't have to miss today. Today is Nana Ansah Kwao's birthday, and she celebrated it in grand style. So happy birthday to you, our one and only Rock of Ages, Nana Ansah Kwao II, Paramount Queen Mother of Akwemu. But you know, folks, we start the way we start. And folks, until the lions have their own historians, tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I will say that again, that until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Edumasa, coming to you live from the cold UK, specifically Elstree. Very cold and wet today. Well, they say it's all right, but coming from where we come from, it's cold. But I say, thank God it's Monday, a great opportunity to perform this all-important ritual just once a week. So when it happens, we cherish it and we make it count. A ritual for discerning listeners, a ritual for deep thinkers, a ritual for history lovers, a ritual for the lovers of storytelling. So basically every black man then. And above all, lovers of Ghana. Let us all gather and make truth good only on Joy 99.7 FM. Topic today, folks. Our topic today is February, a month of understanding. Oh yes, February, a month of understanding. First of all, let me wish a happy Valentine's Day to you all and wish many more of such days to come. Well, folks, it's really fascinates me how there is no schooling or training for one of the most important jobs or institutions in the world called marriage. A job that's literally a lifetime job. There's no retirement. Once you're in there. There's no retirement. The whole lifetime career and profession, which could produce children that will need protection and direction. Yet, the parents themselves may have had no training at all to pass on to the children they may produce. Folks, on one of our shows many years ago, and I said that marriage should be taught as a subject in school. It wouldn't be added to your academic scores, no. So if you fail marriage, doesn't mean you failed your course and you have to repeat, no. However, when you are going to get married, your in-law would say or could say, let me see what you got for marriage in school. And they can look at it and determine the level of counseling you need before getting into marriage. Or they can even say, no, with these low grades, your level of understanding is too low. I cannot allow you to marry my daughter, or I'm not going to let you marry my son because your level of marriage understanding is low. I was serious But as usual, it was too drastic a change to be accepted. But I was thinking that, there should be some space so that as the world changes and information and the world is moving faster, unions are becoming difficult to stick together. So if children went through some sort of counseling and understanding how it is that they would live with their partners, maybe when the actual exam starts, they will be able, to stand the test of time because they've done some classes on it. But folks, if we don't fix the home or fix families, it will be difficult to fix the country, as the country depends on homes and families to produce good people who become good citizens, who in turn run the country. So as homes and families are failing, the products that come out will be a problem. And people, folks, generally comes from unions of marriages or unions of love. It is important, folks, that we help families or marriages. It is very important. If we're going to build the nation, it's very important that you build the units or the cells that produce the material or the product that will eventually build the nation. So today, as we celebrate love and unions, let us ask why. Why are so many marriages and unions breaking up? And too many folks barely hanging on a thread. Too many barely hanging on a thread. It is rare to find, a really good and humble and sober home. They are becoming rare. And the war and heated and the thread hanging ones are becoming all too common. Why? So today, 14th February, as we are celebrating and talking about love, let us also give time to find out why. Well, this is my opinion. And if you've ever followed my opinion, you know that we would always look at things through the lens of our Africanness. And clearly, on a serious subject like marriage, that's no different. We have to look at what the Africanness or what we understood marriage to be. We have to look at it. Folks, we are too quick to just follow what the white or the Westerners do, and then you will make it our yardstick. Just too quick. We don't bother to find out why or what it is. All we just do is pick their finished product, and to us, that is our yardstick. And almost all the time, all these foreign yardsticks we have set for ourselves, we have left ourselves down with these same yardsticks. When we throw ours away and borrow theirs, hoping that it's going to work well for us, almost certainly we pay a hard price. And marriage yardstick is no different. The Western marriage yardstick or the Western marriage understanding yardstick is no different, because it's coming home to roost and we are paying dearly. Folks, before we got so-called civilized, before we got so-called schooled, now our forefathers before us saw marriage as two families consenting for their children to get married. That's why I say that in an African setting, you could have a woman living in Tamale, a man living in Wenchi, and somewhere in Edumasa, there will be a perfect wedding anniversary, traditional marriage going on that would marry those two people even in their absence. So far as the two families agree, that is us. That is how unique we are. Folks, the number one on the list of our forefathers, anytime the notion of marriage came about, the number one on the list was the background check of the individual and their families. That was number one on their check. Are they crooks? Where do they come from? What families do they go? Are they Adrianas, Asona? Are they Oyuko? What are they? Are they thieves? Do they have a history of suicidal drunks in the family? Strange diseases? Mental illness? Have they been into any taboo or shame befalling on the family before? Do they even birth healthy children? Folks, when all these are settled and are passed and satisfied, the next on the list is the young couple. The young couple. Do they understand each other? After the background of the family check and everything is done, the main worry of the parents or the adults who will be behind as who serve as witnesses to the union is that last on the list was love. Love was not a priority in the initial stage, because folks, they knew that love will fade away. The butterflies, the goo goo gaga, they am so lovesick that I can't even eat. I'm so lovesick that I can't even sleep. It will die off. It may take a week, 2 weeks, a year, even a decade. But those butterflies, those goo goo gaga things will die off. And my God, when it goes, you better have some understanding for each other to hold on to. My God, when the goo goo gaga goes, you better have some understanding for each other to hold on to. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you're asking yourself, my God, did I make a right decision? You must have some understanding for each other to hold on to. That is why, even though in the past, folks, they did not have as much as we do, yet their marriages lasted. They didn't have G-wagons or big houses, big TVs and appliances, you know, coming out everywhere. No. Yet their marriages lasted. Folks, today it's all about love, 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 love in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. And we act as though that this love thing is going to be there and maintain the same level as though you saw yourself from day one to the day you die. And we invest all our relationship in love. 100%. We put 100% of the relationship, soak it in love and seal it. We put all our eggs in one basket. So you see, these days, you literally see an explosion of unions. Some are even competitive. Explosion of unions, as though that is the marriage in itself. Now, when the butterflies fly away, there's literally nothing holding the relationship after the fanfare. They can't chat freely because one doubts the reaction of the other. One person thinks the world should stop for them. The other thinks too highly of himself. Every other day, there's a quarrel. If the sun rises early, there's a quarrel. If the wind blows too much, matter. Even if you get stuck in traffic, get home, there's war. If you go visit your mother, problem. Food is cold, problem. I want to watch my program and nothing else. Everything is war. Every other day, there's war. And you're wondering, is this going to be the story of my life? The love too is gone. So it becomes so toxic. All because now we think that we have to be like the white, who plays love at the top of their marriage list. Forgetting that for us or for them, marriage is an individual thing. You can meet someone, John and Jane, meet at McDonald's, exchange a ring, come home and Jane tells us, "Father, I got engaged, I'm getting married tomorrow." It's their individual thing. But for us, folks, for us, marriage could even be between two towns. Forget about two families. It could be two towns, depending on the size of the families, on the individuals. It could be two towns getting married. You must learn to understand each other. You must learn to understand each other, because that's what's going to hold you on. So I was thinking, folks, considering our failure rate now, and considering that we need products from these unions to eventually run the nation, I was hoping that we start promoting the need to understand your partner rather than just love your partner, so that the young ones who are learning from us, who are yet to make the journey, don't fall in the same pit most of us are in, thinking that love is everything. Love is good, love is sweet, love is important, but when the butterflies and the goo goo gaga goes, which it goes, we must educate the young ones. What will be there for you to hang on to? Folks, identical twins from the same side, they grow up and they sometimes disagree. Regular twins disagree. Siblings from the same parents fight. Friends fight and stop talking to each other. So to bump into someone who's from strange land, fall in love and think that, this person is going to be like paint and wall, there's not going to be separation, there's never going to be a misunderstanding, probably that may be too simple. It's too simple in the thinking that you meet a stranger and all of a sudden you think that with this stranger, everything is going to be hunky-dory. Nothing is going to go wrong. We must let the young ones know that no, things will go wrong. Things will certainly and definitely go wrong. Now, when they do, what would you have as a backup? Not just chocolates and love and chocolates and love and red and chocolate and love and red. It's nice. One day in a year, we eat chocolate. We boost our industry, we boost our economy. It's fine. But in the long term, we must and should go back to what our forefathers think, the content of their character, the family they come from, and the ability or the strength with which you two can understand each other. And so if I've come to you today from far away, I am saying that today is a day of understanding, and it's time to get to the phones, and the number is 0302 216 541 0302 216 541. You can send your text message or WhatsApp messages to 055 111 055 111 997. Standing by, let's have a conversation while we are enjoying laugh. We throw a caution to those who are yet to join that, hey, when the butterflies eventually fly away, there must be something to hold on to. The world has so changed. Gone are the days when one was a hunter and one was a gatherer. Today we all hunt and we all gather. Other than childbirth, there aren't many gender-related jobs in the household. How are we training the young ones? How are we socializing the young ones? Are you buying a hammer for your daughter, or you're buying a blonde little doll for your daughter because that's her place? We must make a cautious effort to understand so that their unions will be much, much stronger than ours. So it's 0302 216 541. Who's going to be my first caller? Standing by. Kobe from Adenta. Kobe, let me hear you. And happy Val's Day.
Happy Val's Day to you, Nana. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well.
Yes, Nana, I like your topic today. All what I want to say is that I was once listening to Kataria. He said, "Car partner saying, you know what that literally means is that the what we are feeding into Mkwala Oma balance, now our TV programs are full of these telenovelas that shows foreign cultures into our system. The youth of today are now getting used to all these programs and so on that teaches about foreign marriages, thereby not making the youth of today appreciate what our parents were teaching us initially. Me, I would say that growing up, I really like the way our communities were set up, like the way you truly said, when you are going into marriage, you are not marrying the individual, you are marrying the whole community, whereby they will take time and do what? And investigate the background of whoever you are going to get married. Now it is not so. Somebody can just meet somebody at circle or anywhere, I love you, then we just go. Because of this modern, let's say, things that are being shown on TVs and things that are being shown to the youth and the youth of today, is making this married thing not become something that like it used to be. Because gone are the days our parents were able to live for 30 years, 40 years without even divorce. But now that you see you are going to school, acquiring all the big degrees, PhDs and so on. When we go into marriage, maximum 3 years or 2 years. Even some marriages break after 1 week or so, or 1 month, because of the teachings and what is going on in our society. That's why marriages these days don't even last. So let me alone. We should try and go back, adopt what our forefathers were doing. Say they didn't even go to school. They were able to live together 50 years, 40 years without going for divorce or whatever. They waiting once. Everybody understand each of your friends and the role in marriage. But now I know my right, I know my left, I know my human rights, human left. All these things have contributed. So at the end of the day, we are not even seeing the beauty of marriage in our society or even in our country. You see the divorce rate going on. We need to take our time. All of us have a role to play. I'll even say that this person or that, but everyone, we have a role to play to ensure that this marriage system works. Because at the end of the day, when we have good marriages, it really helps promote better development.
Thank you so much.
Better development. So I think your topic is very, very nice, and our advice that maybe we should all contribute to help build Ghana. We have only one Ghana, and foreign cultures will not help us. It will help them, but we should also adapt our own and use it nicely to develop our system. And we should stop concentrating on Menkwame family, and that is what has really spoiled the whole marriage and marriage system and everything in the country. So this is my humble submission.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's 0302216541. I have Nana Kwesi on the line. Hello, Nana Kwesi.
Nana, good evening.
Good evening, Nana.
Okay, so you see, the problem has been transition. You see, things have changed, and while we grow, what we were not able to do was doing away what we think is not right and holding on to the ones that we think we can still hold on to. You see, the truth of the matter is, like you said, back in the days, you marry a whole community. But you see, the reality today is that today, every community, every person in every community, you know, everybody for himself. Everybody for himself. That is the reality right now. So if you are in a community, it's about you. nobody is really thinking about anybody anymore. You see, so transition, things have changed. So how did we catch up? Do you understand? That's the problem. The family right now, even in families, extended families, it's everybody. In most of our families, it's everybody for themselves. So you, the auntie or the nephew or the sister, no, your issues, whilst you are going to an auntie or an uncle for help, or nobody can say to me house, me to my children are there. So that is the reality right now. So where are we bridging the gap so that we can get some of these things right? And people are getting married for the wrong reasons right now. That one I can agree. You meet a gentleman and he says, I love this guy, I love this girl, and all that. If you go and look, it's not anything. It's because the lady has big breasts and big buttocks and one okay. If you meet a man, not a lady, no say I like this manner, and then she is because yes, Wanzano. And they follow all this and they get married, and when the reality sets in, they realize, hey, no, they've made a mistake. Boom, then they divorce. Back in the days, our mothers, they weren't really empowered like is being done today. Now we've realized that as a human being, you have to be responsible for yourself. So today, nobody will sit down and say that because of marriage, you should come and kill me. What is part of the reason why we are having a higher rate of divorce nowadays, aside the fact that marriage is being done on the wrong reasons. This one is also part.
Thank you so much.
We should look at it from both angles.
We'll look at it, but you've raised some issues that I think we need to expand on it. Papa Kojo is on the line. Hello, Papa Kojo.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Nana, for the first time, within several productions that you've done, I will sound like disagreeing with you, not because what you are saying is not true, but because you are probably looking at it from a different angle. Nana.
Okay.
And I'm happy because that's actually the name of the program, right? Now, let's look at it this way.
Yes.
Are we saying that because of the breakdown of marriages, you should go back to how our grandparents and forefathers did it? I don't think that the answer is yes, because Nana, the kind of sacrifices our parents made in the name of marriage, we can't. Don't forget that in those days, on several occasions, it was only the man who was working, Nana. The woman had the sole responsibility of staying at home and bringing up the children. The civics that we were actually trained with were good. Today, Nana, where in the syllabus, in our education system, do you see civics? Nana, where? Show me. The definition of civics is educating people to know about their rights and to do right to all manner of persons. Is that what we see in Ghana, Nana? Because of the lack of civic education, there is total breakdown of trust and honesty in the society. There's moral decadence, not because the man does not trust the wife or whatever. It is because nobody knows anybody. Nana, when Kwame Nkrumah instituted the boarding school system, it was for all of us to come together as a people so that people do not become suspicious of one another. So you are from the southern part of Accra, you school in the northern part, and you meet someone who is 14, 15, you live with him for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. So by the time you attain 30, 40 years, when you only start working, you know them already. Today, we only get to know people at the university. By which time, relationships and attitudes have been formed. Where is the trust? So I'm saying that I don't agree. Nana, so I am parallel and my example way. Look at how beautiful you and Ohineye's marriage is. Are you saying that you can go back to what your father did it? And I said, no. You cannot tell Ohineye to stay at home and be a mother. Only to the children. No. And so, let me interject you. Our real and she say nipa mienu aya baako boa baako na omo ho ahare won. It is not the case. I'm saying that until we go back to the civics, this has nothing to do with right or left, Nana. It is okay for people to know their right and to do right to manner of people. We don't have to trample on people's rights. So if that is what the argument is, then I disagree. I think that women must be allowed to play their role as effectively as contributors to the society, and not necessarily people to stay at home because and this issue of when we fix the civics, everything will be right. Thank you and good evening, Nana.
Good evening, Prof. I like the passion. Sham Bronze Barbecue is on the line, man. Sham, let me hear you.
Oh, Nana, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
I wanted to be the first person to call since you're in the UK. I'm feeling well than a kaka.
Who's that?
Once again, I think you deserve a Nobel Prize for your topics. They are very apt and always straight to the point. If I'm going to add my voice to this, I'm just going to turn 33 this year, right? But I realized the older generation failed the younger generation. Why do I say this? Back in the day, we all know blacks, we didn't really used to put things on paper. So it was by word of mouth. Now, when something is good in society, we need to continue it. This institution of marriage was supposed to be continued by the families. But I'm sure somewhere along the line, the message went to somebody and the person failed to pass it down to the next generation, and then we decided to pick from the Western culture and all that. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because my wife and I just realized that background check is actually good for the couples because of so many factors. Besides the physical background checks you said about the mental illness and other sicknesses, there's a spiritual aspect as well. Every human being is an element. It's air, wind, and fire. Now, if I am here and I am water, and let's say my wife is fire, and elements of fire, Nana, no matter the big boobs and whatever I see in here that I like, and I go for that, obviously our marriage is going to be under serious stress. So I think we need to open that channel again. The older generation still need to tell us it's important because we did this, and this because of this. But you see, as blacks and as Africans, I believe we also don't want, we don't love ourselves. Why are we even celebrating Val's Day, Nana? Tell me. What in the world have we celebrated about Africa on a day? Black History Month isn't a celebration. It's just something done to appease us, like, oh, but I have a serious problem because I'm like, who is that Saint Valentine they are talking about? He taught about love. And so, like, why should we cherish it on a day to try and overemphasize the word love whilst you're supposed to do this always, like 365 days? So to me, it's overblown. It's blown out of proportion. So all I'm trying to say is, it was good we did that in the past. And it's good we still need to encourage it. You see, as blacks, we just realized there are so many things that will change just for it to be perceived as we are not good enough. But we just realized, Charlie, we are the best. You see, so my point is, very beautiful topic and everything. But I think we should bridge the gap. Because there was nothing that was done in the past. What do you about now so element obviously, but so we from no fire needs oxygen, right? It needs air. So both of you, whatever you do spiritually, physically, it's gonna, and then papa to me have so many concubines, and the current wives are not complaining, not because of anything, but because I don't know time because I cover concubine and my grandfather have over 13 or so concubines, and there was nothing wrong. You get it? But today, hey, back when I wouldn't talk because of A, B, or C. So I believe I'm not really on the polygamy side, but I'm just hinting on like the fact that we need to bridge the gap. Thank you very much.
Sam, thank you very much. And we have our first lady caller, 0302216541. Let's hear what you think about Gertrude. Let me hear you.
Yeah, I think that sometimes our parents, maybe they don't really explain so many things to us. Because after 19 years of marriage, I've realized that they were so right in some of the things they were telling us, but because they did not really explain, we just didn't see the importance of it. And so we got married. Maybe after the marriage. So they have really failed us. I think there should be more discussion. Marriage as a topic is a forbidden subject in our homes. When a child mentions something, they just shut you down. So you really do not know what you are going into until you are really there. And if the church can maybe help us with after marriage counseling, it would be nice.
I agree with you, Gertrude. Thank you so much for calling 0302216541. This issue about, the African woman being empowered. I think we did a show before. Maybe we have to do it again. That, listen, the original African woman in a marriage was really, really empowered, because the biggest taboo in a traditional marriage is abuse. So you couldn't physically abuse her. You could not abuse her. It was the biggest taboo, right? And women came into marriage with their own identity. If you Amasewa and I got married to you, you're still Amasewa. You don't change your name and become Sinti Misa. You don't put a ring on your finger. So, now I own you. All those things were not there. And, I don't keep you at home, say a housewife. No, we all did those things together. It is the same modernization. Oh, now I want to wear a white gown and pin and put a ring on my finger, change my name, do this. So all those things came and then came around, came up with the housewife system. And then now we turn around and said, oh, African are abusing women. No, we never did. It came with it. It was all a foreign thing that we adopted. Go back in history and find out if your great-grandmother was a housewife. No, she helped your grandfather, in whatever job they were doing. Or she had her own little trade. And she didn't change her name to your grandfather's name or put a ring on to say, now you own me. She came there as an individual. And you could rarely find any great-grandmother who says, I was abused in relationship. It would be, it's fine. There's always an exception, but it will be very, very, very rare. It's not an African thing. So, hey, would you be able to live in the community? How? So when we all became so-called civilized, that's when all these things came about. So anytime I hear empowerment, I'm thinking, Jack, the African woman has always been empowered. And I was wishing an Afrakuma happy birthday today. There isn't another, woman more empowered than her. She's just there in her house. She hasn't come out basa. But what's wrong? You are scared. Empowered to the hilt. And that's how the African woman has always been. The men pretend I'm the head of the household, but in most homes, for the house to be functional, it's the woman that runs it. It's not the man that's going to say, before, you don't. All those things are decided for 0302216541. But today, the essence of the show, as we are celebrating a day of love, is to say that, we need to also, like Gertrude said, put some real issues out there for those who are coming, to learn from. Kobe was saying these, foreign novellas and what they are portraying as marriage has got nothing to do with the reality. Has absolutely nothing to do with the reality. However, if we feed the children with these phantom things, they grow up thinking that's what it should be. And so when they go and it's not that, then it's like, well, I'm checking out. This is not what I bargained for, So it's so important. And I'm saying it's important because that's the families are the ones that eventually produce the products, people, citizens that eventually run the family. So if they are broken, they are going to give you broken products. And once you get broken products, you will definitely get a broken marriage, a broken nation. So the issue, that family unit cell, it's something that's very, very important. You can't just leave it to chance, right? And go and sit there and hope that, oh yes, they will bring you good citizens. They won't give you. They will drive through the traffic lights today and see the children, on the traffic lights, and you're thinking, what are they going to grow up to be, and how much contribution would they build to the country? However, if they came from a good unit, who understood that children will come and children must be, you guys have to plan and have the child, they will be protected. grow up, formed, and become contributors to the nation. So we shouldn't just treat it as love, chocolate, red, and let it pass. It's more important than that. 0302-216-541. Dr. Cynthia Tego says, great show, Nana. The challenges are the egoistic and individual myself attitude to marriage of the youth and the failure of the older ones to hand down worthy values and principles of marriage, not only in theory, but also in practice. And it says, wish Mr. Alex and Mrs. Clarence Saki of Tansuma Mars a happy 20th anniversary and happy birthday to Mr. Saki, who is celebrating his birthday today. Dr. Cynthia Tego in Adringano. That was your message there. And then, let me see, I'm sure I have more messages here. I had one from our usual suspect. Tell my husband I appreciate him. And that's from Eugenia Sintim Eddie to Mr. Clarence Tebby, that your wife is sending you a good one. We are pushing forward for a saint we don't know about, whilst Tetekwashi has no place in our hearts. This is from Tom in North Kameshi. That's the whole show. We put in the whole issue on this saint that we never even knew about. While the great Tetekwashi, lucky kakene, yadini chocolate abe bataku, and yes, adiaka. So 0302-216-541. Let's hear what your thoughts are on this issue. There's another happy birthday here. Let me find out and give a shout out to this birthday. Is a member of Council of State representing the North. I'll get the name and then I'll share it. So very, very happy birthday to Alhaji Aminu Amadu. Very happy birthday to you. Well, your wife isn't lucky at all. Birthday and Valentine all in one. That's a double trouble. Two gifts in one. But hey, the best two blessings in one. So Alhaji, very, very happy birthday to you, member of Council of State. Enjoy your day today and have a very, very good one. Well, Ajwa is on the line. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
Yeah, great program. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking at it this way.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, like you said, the women were mostly home. They were not working. The men were the breadwinners, and they could do whatever they wanted. They would marry so many wives. And as much as the women didn't like it, because they don't even have any source of income or livelihood, even if they had, very meager, they can't afford to live. And most of the time, you hear them say that, look, the children are the only reason why they are in the marriage. They would have left. Mm-hmm. But these days, because the women are educated, they are working, they are earning their money, very few of them will tolerate a man who will go out and marry so many women or be married and still be having children outside the marriage. They wouldn't tolerate that. And I'm sure maybe it's one of the reasons why these days we hear of so many divorce cases. In the past, it would have been so. But they didn't have the means to even take care of themselves. So they didn't have a choice. They just have to be in the marriage and look after the children. Some of them endured it until the children grew up. So for me, I think it's one of the reasons. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ajua, for that insightful contribution. Thank you very much. And let me say, happy chocolate, happy Val's Day, happy Love Day, happy Understanding Day to the one and only Oheneyere Awodansua. Yesterday, she was at Akomufie to make a huge medical donation to Nana Ansah Kwao IV for her birthday, because Ansah Kwao IV wanted to give out hospital equipment. That's what was on her heart, to give out hospital equipment and gadgets to those who are ill, and to hospitals in and around Akwemu. So I will say thank you so much. And to those of you at Ajana Clinic, I know that very soon you would get yours. So to Princess, happy Valentine to you as well. And to all the opinionators who say happy Valentine, and plenty of love and extra understanding, so that we can hang on to each other and make our relationship last and work. I think who has been on the ones and twos and been absolutely fabulous. There's a proper cross-country opinion, probably the first one ever, and it's it worked out really fantastic. So Abeku, thank you for that. And I know Kofi Hayford is probably coming up next to play us some really good spiritual songs to help us in our long marriage life. So we thank you so much. And Abeku Sankofi, as I always say, that until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. My name is Nana Ansah Kwao, and next Monday, God willing, we'll be back to do this all over again. Thank you. Over and out.